Hello everyone, welcome back inside the Update Studio. Tommy Marquez here with some continued coverage leading up to the Masters competition in July. And I'm joined now by the top qualifier out of the Masters 60 plus division for the women, Lidia Beer. Lidia, thank you so much for joining me today.
Thank you for having me.
Just to give everyone a little bit of background info, can you tell us how you found CrossFit and what your athletic background was before you found it?
Sure, I can. I found CrossFit when we moved from Northern Virginia down to North Carolina. I had been working with a fellow for about 5 years. His name was Michael Thrash, and he had his own company. And it was very much, I guess, CrossFit-like. Of course, he didn't call it CrossFit. And he really did change my body. I didn't really get into athletics until after I had a child, so I was about 34 years old. And it was basically mainly running. And then, somehow or another, I got into the gym and then started doing, lifting and just kept evolving. My overall abilities just kept increasing. And so I ended up with this guy for about 5 years. And when I left him, I knew I needed something that was just as comparable as what he gave. And the only thing I was able to find was CrossFit. So that's how I ended up, walking into a CrossFit gym and starting there.
We've certainly found some success in CrossFit. This is your first year in the 60 plus division. You won the Open, you won the Masters qualifier. What has been the key to your successes in winning those aspects of competition this year?
Well, I think having a failure from last year kind of contribute to the drive. It was a very humbling experience. I really thought that I'd make it to the games last year, and I didn't. So I knew one of my weaknesses was ring dips. I knew I needed to continue to work on my strength, continue to be a little more agile. So I just continue to work those strengths. And one thing is that I've got a great coach that knew what my weaknesses were and kept continuing to program work that, continued to work on those. Example was this morning, ring dips, death by ring dips. So yeah, let's just continue to work them. So I really did appreciate him putting the extra effort into me.
So you talk about your weaknesses and how you attack them. Can you give us kind of a full breakdown on what your day-to-day training looks like for you as a Masters athlete preparing for the games?
Well, I go to the gym just 5 days a week. When you are a Masters, you really do need to listen to your body, and you do need to make sure you're getting the rest, make sure you're eating properly. I do take a couple of days off. There are a few days that I may put in 2 workouts a day. So I may go in, especially on the weekends, I may go and I may stay at the gym for 2 or 3 hours, doing various different things. But it's, I don't do it on a regular basis. My body, I don't think, could take that.
You're a CrossFit Games veteran. You've qualified for the Games 4 times before this. Your best finish was 4th in 2012. Programming aside, what do you need to do personally to make it onto the podium for the first time?
I need to get it in my head that I can win. So, I do really well on a daily basis in the gym. I mean, I'm competing against some young people, some young females, some young males, and I can pretty much sometimes blow them away, and actually a lot of times I blow them away. I need to go walk into the games with the same attitude of hunt it down, get it done. And you can succeed here. So I just need to not let the nerves get to me and just try to perform as well as I do on a daily basis.
Well, you certainly blew away the rest of the field in the Masters qualifier this year. Do you feel a little bit more pressure being the top qualifier now this year? And how do you personally mentally manage those kind of expectations for yourself?
I do feel the pressure. Every day, someone is always saying to me, "Oh, she's number one. She's number one," and that just adds the pressure to me. So it's like I try to just get that out of my head. You got to go in there like you're number 20, and I've got to fight for this just like everybody else does that qualified and made it to the games.
Earlier, you mentioned some things about listening to your body as a Masters athlete. What other aspects of training and competing as a Masters that are unique to your age division that other people may not be aware of, such as myself?
Well, for me, my goal is to maintain my strength. Whereas when I go in the gym, these people that are much younger, they're always trying to PR, trying to do better, better. If I can do as well as I did last time, and if I do put a couple extra pounds on that bar, that's a huge success for me. So my success is measured a little bit differently than what their success is, because I've already peaked. My goal is not to keep tumbling down the hill. It's just to try to maintain.
We're certainly doing a great job of it so far. Last question. What does it mean to you to be called a 5-time CrossFit Games qualifier?
It means a lot because I can remember when I first started CrossFit. I mean, the very first year I made it to the games, um, and but back then it was so much easier, and actually I didn't take it that seriously because I really didn't know what the games were. So I went in and did the games, and it was amazing to me to watch the other athletes and to see how hard and dedicated and just you know how everybody had pulled for one another, and I thought to myself, I want to be doing this when I'm 60. So it really is a blessing to me that I get this opportunity to come back again. I really wanted it. I fought for it this year, and I'm very proud that I have the opportunity.
Well, you are doing it at 60, so you can check that one off the list. Lydia, thank you so much for taking the time to speak with us today, and best of luck in Carson.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
Lydia and the rest of the Masters contingent will be kicking off their competition at the StubHub Center Tuesday, July 19th. Tickets are still available. You can get those as well as all of our continuing coverage at games.crossfit.com.